Oh.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in for another interview today. Today I have Talia with me. How are you, Talia?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for popping in with me today and for chatting with me for a little bit. So Talia, I like to jump right in. So tell us where you are and what you do in the industry.
Hi. Well, as she said, my name is Talia Addie. As of right now, I'm back and forth between LA and East Coast via Virginia. So right now I'm currently in Virginia. I just got back over here last week. I actually had to repurpose a wedding dress. So I'm over here because I have a fitting with my client to do that. So as far as in the industry, I've been doing this I just came up on my 6th year. I just celebrated my anniversary the 22nd of July. So 6 years in the game. I'm a seamstress. I'm a designer as well as a stylist. I do some personal shopping, as well as closet revamping. So I guess I'm all in fashion. I'm all into fashion. But yeah, that's a little about what I do. I'll say right now, I've done like 4 to 5 fashion shows. So I do fashion shows as well. Yeah, that's a little brief intro of me.
Well, that's already a lot. So we're gonna break that down. But first of all, I love the jet setting because I love to jet set. So I love that you're going back and forth between LA and Virginia.
Yes.
So I love that part. But tell us a little bit about how did this start? How did this fashion journey begin with you?
So this started, well, first and foremost, my grandmother was a seamstress as well as my mom. My mom was a seamstress as well. So I knew like the basics of the machine and how to like make pillows and things like that. But I was always into fashion. I always had subscriptions to different magazines like In Style, Vogue, and I just love to watch like Project Runway, Say Yes to the Dress, things of that nature. So I was always into fashion, but I really took it serious around about 2012, 2013, and I started taking classes, sewing classes. And when I first started off, I started off doing just accessories like scarves. But then me just being scared, I tried to stay away from clothes. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do the scarves. But then people were asking me like, hey, can you alter this for me? Can you alter these pants? Oh, can you do this for me? And I'm like, I was turning it down at first, but then it's like, okay, girl, don't keep turning down money. So then it's like, get it together. So before I just jumped out there and like, hey, I can alter your pants, I started taking classes. Then once I took classes and became comfortable, and then I got into clothes, and then the rest is history. And once I did my first fashion show, I felt like, hey, this is cool. Like I can really do this. This is what's up. So I think my first fashion show I did a total of like 4 pieces. Like, and I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And my first fashion show was actually in Danville, North Carolina. So yeah, and after my first fashion show, the rest was history. The rest was history.
Wow, that's you said so many things there. First of all, I was gonna ask later on, but you brought it up now, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask now.
Mm-hmm.
For Is that the first step? Is learning to sew?
Yeah.
Because you said so many things. First of all, I watch all those shows, all the shows that you mentioned. I like actively seek out like shows that have to do with fashion.
Right, exactly.
Because I'm like, and people, I was telling someone the other day about a show, and it was a dude who's not at all into it, so I should have known better. And he was just like, yeah, I just don't understand. I was like, because you're not in the industry, like, of course you don't understand.
Right,
I told
exactly.
you.
Exactly.
I don't know why I told you that. So yeah, but like I love all the shows, like what was it, Next in Fashion with Alexa Chung. Did you watch that?
Right.
What's his name from Queer Eye? I forget his name, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then, yep, and then of course, Styling Hollywood with Jason Boland. They need to hurry up the next season on that one.
I know. I love him.
So yes, I'm with you with all those shows. But I also tell people in all seriousness and in style. I love that you mentioned in style because no one ever says in style. I always say in
and I'm
style.
like, people are sleeping on them. Everyone always
Thank
goes
you.
for Vogue. I'm like,
Thank
in style
you.
always, and in style keeps you on game too, like with what's hot, what's not, what's upcoming. Like people sleep on in style for sure.
Thank you. I'm like, when you said in style, I was like, oh, she's like the first person who's ever said
they go for Vogue. Everyone goes for like Vogue.
Always Vogue.
Don't get me wrong.
Or Marie Claire, but usually Vogue. Yeah, it's usually Vogue. You're right. Never in style. I'm like, I don't understand why y'all aren't reading in style though.
Why? Exactly.
I was like, the way I see, like, I love Vogue and all of them, but the thing that is different about in style for me is that it takes, like, you know, the like editorial spread, the beautiful artisticness of Vogue, and it puts it in everyday simplicity for you. So as a stylist, as just a fashionista, in style breaks down like, okay, you see that beautiful John Battista Valli dress on the runway. Here's how you can wear it in your everyday life. Right.
Exactly. I love how, and they break it down for, I mean, even if you can't afford the $5,000 gown, they break it down and will give you the dupe that you can go and purchase. And we'll give you the link where you can purchase it from.
Right. I have bought stuff out of in style.
Exactly. I'm like, they're sleeping on in style.
Y'all are really sleeping on in style. Like, for real, y'all need to start reading in style more because there's a lot in there. Like, there's a whole lot in there. So y'all see sleeping on that. But then, so, but not to be like, in all seriousness though, I tell people this all the time. So you've been in this industry now, I think you said 6 years.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Oh, and by the way, congratulations. I did see that. So congratulations on your anniversary there.
Thank you so much.
So 6 years, right? So we can go ahead and call you an expert in this, in this game. But what I love is that you are still reading the magazines. You're still watching the shows. And that's something I tell people. I'm like, you've got to, because I think we get to a place, especially in like an industry like this, where it's like, we just know it. You know, you've done fashion shows, you do styling. So like, you're an expert. Yeah. But I'm like, no, you got to keep, it's homework.
Exactly. And I don't think you're ever at a place where you know it all, and things are forever changing. So you have to always be able and willing to learn.
Right. Always. And so let me tell you something. If I ask someone who calls themselves being in the fashion industry what magazine they read or who their favorite designer is, and they're just like, I'm like, you feel.
Exactly. That should come to you like that.
Right. Like there shouldn't even be a pause.
Right. Okay. Exactly. You like, that should be on the tip of your tongue. Right. Blow them out. And it should be more than one.
Right. Exactly. And the reason why I can say that is because when I first started my business, not in this industry, I've been in the industry for like 17 years, but when I first actually started my business, my mentor, that was the first thing he asked me on day one. I had no portfolio, no nothing. I didn't know what I was doing as far as the business is concerned. Right. And he was like, what do you read? And I was like, he was like, boo boo, I'm not talking about novels. I'm talking about fashion magazines.
Right, exactly. Listen, they will get you together.
And I was like, together. I was like, nothing, sir.
Right. Like,
okay, who's your favorite designer? And I was like, he's like, oh no.
Gotta get it together.
And then I love him so much. And he just kind of looked at me like this. He was like, okay, so imagine the guy in the character in The Devil Wears Prada. Right. That's exactly who he was. He was like, and you call yourself a fashion person?
Right, exactly. You felt like this big,
Oh,
like
so small. I was like, this man is gonna get up and walk out of here.
man, listen.
So done with me.
But it was your first day, and I'm sure he got you together. And from then on, you already knew to come with it.
Oh, always. And like the thing is, like I always say, like with him, and this is why like I give people a chance, right? If I see that you really want to hustle, I'll give you the chance, because with him, even though he was like, okay, so you don't do any homework, we've established that. But
Right.
he was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I have a fashion show coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you put together a look for one model. If I like it, I'll put it in the show and we'll have another conversation. If I don't, well, you know what happens then.
Oh my goodness. So everything was riding on that one look.
And look. And he was like, and in the meantime, you're gonna get my coffee, you're gonna call my models, you're gonna, and I was like, yes, sir,
Oh
yes,
my
sir, yes.
goodness. This was real
Oh,
deal devil wears
real.
Prada.
Right. And that's why I tell people a lot of times, I think, like, I don't know, you can tell me what you think, because I personally, and people don't like this, but that's, people aren't going to like this. I don't care. I feel like some creatives are spoiled because, because we see these overnight successes, which are not overnight successes ever. No one is an overnight success ever. Please hear me when I say that. Okay. So it's like, but Instagram, social media portrays this overnight success thing. People legit don't want to work for it. And like, not everyone, but a lot of people. And so when I tell stories like that, I was like, no, that was my mentor. He had been in the industry for 25 years at that point. He had worked with Versace, Janice Dickinson, all them people. So he knew exactly what he was talking about. So I could have been like, shh, I don't need this, blah, blah, you know, whatever. I'm not getting coffee and da da da. But I'm like, what I got from him is invaluable. Like if you had paid him for what he gave me, it would have cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars to be mentored by him. That's like the level that he's at. And I was willing to work for it. So, but I'm like, I feel like a lot of creatives nowadays are just kind of like, you just want to.
And if it doesn't go their way, it's like, oh, I'm done with this. I want to try something else.
Right. Like, oh, I'm too good for this.
Yeah. And but you know what? I can't say, I mean, social media is definitely a gift and it's a curse because, I mean, like you said, it does cripple creatives sometimes to the point where some people may think that it is easier than what it looks. And that's definitely not the case. It's definitely not the case. So yeah, I mean, I can agree. Some creatives are spoiled. Some creators are spoiled, but I think it's more so not all, and you all don't beat me up for this, but some of the newer ones that are coming in are not the vets. I think it's some of the newer ones that are coming in that are a little spoiled and think that because of what they see, that that's how it's going to be. And they quickly find out that it's not.
Quickly.
They quickly find out that it's not. But yeah, not all of them are spoiled, but the newer ones that are coming in the game, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. But all that to say, the mentorship, you know, I emphasize mentorship. I preach it because I do feel like it makes a difference. As long as you have someone who's willing to work, being a mentor and getting mentorship from someone, you know, again, invaluable. Did you get mentorship when you first started, or are you still receiving mentorship?
When I first started, I would say, yeah, my teacher was definitely my mentor. And she was, the crazier part about it was she wasn't that much older than me, but she was older than me, and she definitely gave me some gems, and this was even before like I started my business. She definitely like pointed me in the right direction of where to go when I was ready, and even like just guiding me on like what projects to do while I was under her rule of thumb, basically. But yeah, I'll say she was definitely my mentor. But she later got sick. She's still here, but she doesn't do it anymore. She doesn't sew like she used to anymore. She had a a brain tumor,
Mhm.
sad to say. Yeah. So, but yeah, she was definitely my mentor.
Yeah. They are. I love him. He's not doing it anymore either. And I reach out to him every couple of months. I'm like, I'm real casual, nonchalant with it.
Right.
He's probably, I don't know. He's probably almost 60 now. He's
Right.
like the Andre Leon Tallies. He's those OGs. So I'm just like,
Exactly.
so I'm like, I have a fashion show coming up. I would love your opinion, or, just kind of like try to subtly suck him back in. And he was like, honey, didn't I already tell you?
So he's not even dipping in it anymore.
Oh no, like, he's just like, shut down. I'm done. I've done that. I'm done. I'm happy for you, but no.
Yeah, I always wonder would I be that person like when I get older? Like would I be like, I'm over it, like I don't want to even think about it anymore, I don't even want to talk about it? I don't know
either.
I always think like, would I ever be that person? I don't know, because it just excites me. So I don't know if I'll be to the point I'm like, turn it off, I don't want to see another say yes to the dress. I don't know if I'll ever be to that point. I don't know. So
right.
But that's crazy to hear you say that about him, that he's like, no, like I'm done. I don't want to hear anything about a show, a model, a look, or nothing.
He'll, if I invite him to like my show, he'll come support, something I'm doing. But if I'm trying to pull him in and like actually get him to quote unquote work.
Oh, he's not with it. He's not with it at all.
No, he's not with it at all.
Man, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I will ever get to that point.
I feel like I won't, because someone was talking to me about that the other day. They're like, retirement. I'm like, will I ever like fully retire from this?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, because even if I'm not like actively hustle and bustle, like I'm a consultant now. So I'm like, I mean, you can still call me when I'm 80 and get my get my advice, my opinion. I mean, right. I'm still here.
Right. Exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to that point.
Oh man, but no, it's cool. Like that is one of the things I love about this industry, is that you can kind of just go till you're done, thing. And then even with modeling, because back in the day, it was like you start modeling and you could really only model to like a certain age before they're kind of like, all right, boo, it's time to hang it up. Hang it up.
Right. Exactly.
But now we're seeing like the Iris Apfels and like we're seeing models like of mature age. Maybe they're not hitting the runway, although I think I have seen one on the runway, but they're doing like print and they're doing, so I'm just kind of like, I mean, they're not even telling you to hang it up anymore.
Naomi, exactly. And look at Naomi, she's been in the game for a long time. And now she's the face of Burberry now. So it's like,
but also Naomi's unfair because she literally does not age. The woman is 51. Yeah, she doesn't, I don't know what's going on. I don't think she does any classes, but like she literally does not age.
She doesn't. She still looks the same. And you know what's crazy? I was looking at some sometimes like it's an addiction. Pinterest can be an addiction. But I was on Pinterest and I was looking at some 90s looks. And of course she was in there in some 90s runway shows. And I'm like, Naomi is still serving. She's still slaying the runway like in the 90s.
Right.
She does not age. She does not age and doesn't skip a beat. I'm like, okay, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got it, and she knows she does too. Like she knows.
Exactly.
Like, who's 51? I am Naomi's 51.
Exactly.
It's crazy to me. But so you go back and forth. Okay, I love LA, but you go back and forth between LA. I know. All right, so I was saying, obviously, like I've been out to LA. I know LA's fashion vibe versus East Coast vibe, but for you, how would you describe the difference between the two vibes for people who haven't, experienced it themselves?
So if you haven't been to LA, you definitely need to go, especially if you're in the in the fashion industry, or if you're not in the industry, just as a creative alone, I feel like every creative should definitely visit LA, because the vibe, like you stated, is definitely different from the East Coast. And don't get me wrong, I love New York. But LA is just a different vibe as far as like the weather, the palm trees, the visuals that you get when you're out there, the vibrant colors, the people. I do love that. And it's a little similar to New York, but in LA you get a lot of different cultures, and it's not like everyone, no one person dresses the same. I mean, to me, I can't be like, oh yeah. I mean, I think some you can be like, oh yeah, she's from LA, but not really, because a lot of people dress different, and the weather is so, in the morning time it's chilly, but between 12 and like 4 it's hot. So you might catch someone with long sleeves on and a skirt, or long sleeve on a hoodie and shorts, so it's like that mix of top and bottom. You might catch someone with boots on and a skirt, boots and shorts, and then like over here it's like, oh, what, girl, take those boots off. It's 90 degrees with humidity, what are you doing? Take those boots off. But over there, it's just, the vibe is definitely different, and just with the hustle and bustle, which is a little similar to New York. But like I've explained to you when we were chatting, in New York, the fashion district, you have to go inside to see what that person has or what that person is selling. In LA, a lot of the vendors have, I mean, a lot of the fabric vendors have their stuff outside. So you can see the fabric outside, and then you can see like what they're offering, and then you can go inside and see what more they have to offer. So that's definitely a difference. And then, like I said, of course, the weather. Who doesn't love bright sunny days in LA? So yeah, but the vibe is definitely different. I can't say in the district, in the fashion district, you're always bound to run into someone and network with someone that may be doing the same thing you're doing, but in a different field. So you might get someone that's doing pattern making, or you might get someone that's shopping for a high-end designer. And some people are just like willing to network, which I really like. I've networked with a lot of people out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, like, everything, I agree with, everything you say. For me in LA, it's like, it's kind of like anything's accepted, right? Because in New York, and well, I'll just say East Coast. We're not gonna pick on New York, because all the New York be like, hey, why are you picking on New York?
Yeah, so, exactly. We love y'all. We love
right, y'all. We love New York. Listen, we love New York. Okay. But I think East Coast, it's like, East Coast is not as accepting of, people just trying different things as right, West Coast is. They're just not. So right, I'll see someone wearing something in LA, for example, and I'm like, okay, like, that's different. I may not have put all that together, but I feel you.
Yeah.
That same person on East Coast, and they getting looks, they're like,
yeah, like, girl, where are you going?
Right. Like, so I think that West Coast is just way more accepting and allowing people to actually be creatives, right? Like, I feel
right,
like exactly, you still have to like stay within these like parameters,
guidelines, right? Yeah, exactly.
Guidelines on the East Coast. I think people are just more free out on the West Coast. But also, like, I feel like I had another point, I forgot. Anyways, because you said, networking. Yes. So LA is hustle and bustle too, but it's a different hustle and bustle, because in LA, I think because of the weather, when I was out there, I swore people didn't work, because at any hour of the day, people were just like out eating, drinking. I'm like, no, nobody works in LA. Like, we just don't work.
Exactly. They're not on, LA is not on a corporate schedule. Right. It can be 2:00 and you're in traffic. I don't know where these people are going, but everyone's going somewhere. And what I do like, and it's probably because, Hollywood is there. Everyone's trying to be somebody. or everyone is trying to do something, or everyone is trying to be discovered. So I do like that it is like the mecca of creatives, because it is a lot of people, and it's a lot of people as far as networking, a lot of people willing to network, but a lot of people that are willing to collab as well.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, East Coast, listen, I live on the East Coast. I have lived on the East Coast pretty much my entire time in the United States. Y'all aren't friendly. Okay. Like the West Coast. Y'all just aren't friendly like that. Okay.
I love the East Coast.
Love East Coast, but I go, same thing. I go out to LA. If I'm sitting there and I'm eating at, for my third meal at, 1:00 in the afternoon, because that's what people do out there. Like, I can look at the next table and be like, and then like people just talk out there.
Yeah.
But East Coast, we like to stay in our little corner, the box groups.
Like, oh yeah, girl, what are you doing?
Right, y'all aren't friendly. East Coast, y'all aren't friendly.
We gotta get that together, y'all.
We gotta get it together, because y'all aren't friendly. But yeah, like those are I agree with you wholeheartedly. Those are the big differences I see. I know when I'm out in LA, West Coast, because I was just in Seattle, and Seattle's kind of the same vibe. Colder, but yeah.
Right.
But when I've been out in LA, like I was just like, everyone's so friendly and chill, and like, yeah, everyone's like it's a hustle and bustle, but it's a different kind of hustle. It's, it's a different kind. It's a hustle and bustle. Like there's definitely a grind in LA, but like there's still very much like, but we still have time to sit and have this here margarita, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or it's the meet me for lunch and we can discuss your ideas. I mean, your ideas, or, like meet me at such and such and we can, and I it's a good vibe. Like I said, if you're creative, you definitely have to get set, because you never know. And then the thing is, I feel like sometimes we try to wait, to have somebody to go with us. No, if you're creative and this is what you really want, book your flight, go to LA, and I guarantee you, even if you go by your lonesome, you're going to hook up with someone else who is, if not on the same level as you, they will help you get to where you need to go.
Absolutely. Not to mention, Worthy has people out in LA. So you can definitely connect with Worthy people out in LA.
Yes, for sure.
That too. Well, yeah, I've loved chatting with you today. Like, I feel like you and I could just talk.
I know, it went by so fast. I feel like
I know it does. It goes by really, really fast when it's great conversation. So it's really good. But I appreciate it. I will ask, I love to just ask this, as we're closing out. So you've been in this industry for 6 years. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Everything that, for one, that fashion always repeats itself. So I'm so eager to see what's next. That keeps me going. And also just wanting to show girls that you can do it too. That definitely is what keeps me going, because I know now with social media, a lot of girls think that we have to, shake our butt or show more. And it doesn't have to be that way. So I want to be the beacon of light for those girls who don't really know which way to go and may think that what they see on social media is how it is. It's not. And that's what keeps me going, because I want to show them that it can be done a different way.
Awesome. I love that. Thank
you so much. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
No, thank you, Talia. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. I appreciate you. And thank you for being part of the Worthy community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.